Chazak u'baruch. Good morning, everyone. Boker tov. Chazak u'baruch for making the minyan. School of mitzvot. So we're finishing up Seif Hey in Siman Reish Nun Bet, and we brought a few examples of things that are started before Shabbat that could continue into Shabbat. So if a person sets his alarm clock, so it's like a modern day example, a person sets an alarm clock to wake up for Shabbat, that is allowed to be done because you set it before Shabbat, and it's not something like we spoke about, let's say like a TV or that you're setting it up to watch the game or something like that, which is a zilzul for Shabbat. And it could lead you to chilul Shabbat. You want to change the channel, you want to put the volume up or anything like that. That should not be done. But an alarm clock to wake you up for shul, to wake you up, and also it's not a marit ayin. People understand you set alarm clocks before and it goes off on its own later. That is allowed, but of course you can't turn it off on Shabbat. That's for sure. They have certain kosher alarm clocks, they call it the kosher alarm, where it goes off after a minute. So you don't have to be bothered afterwards with it's going to be ringing the entire Shabbat. And I don't really remember, but it seems like there was mechanical alarm clocks, like the twist ones. I think I've seen them, but they're not existent anymore. Maybe the young guys in the crowd remember the ones, right? So mechanical ones, so you could actually turn it off on Shabbat because it's all not electricity. And there's a whole discussion of can you set it on Shabbat, but you could turn it off on Shabbat. Okay, if you have that type of situation. Seif Vav in the Shulchan Aruch says as follows. The Shulchan Aruch writes, "Lo yatzeh adam erev Shabbat semuch lechashecha b'machato beyado v'lo b'kulmuso." A person should not go out, and this is talking about a case where you don't have an eruv. You don't have an eruv, and now you're not supposed to carry. So one could say, okay, before Shabbat, let me carry items. The examples he gives is even a needle for sewing or his pen. So let me walk out. It's before Shabbat. I'll remember to put it down and not carry it on Shabbat and not carry into a different domain. I'll remember. No, we don't trust you. Shema yishkach v'yotzi. You might forget. So meaning these are items that you usually carry, and if you're going to be carrying very close to Shabbat and the kind of going into Shabbat, like we're worried. But aval mutar latzet b'tfilin samuch l'chashecha lefi she'eno shochan. But you're allowed to go out with your tefillin, and the Chachamim explained that it's tefillin that you're wearing it. People back in the day would wear tefillin all day. So a person says it's close to shul time. He says, you know what? I'm going to walk to shul for Friday night with my tefillin on. So I get the last moments of the daylight with my tefillin on. So you might say, well, you know what? It's approaching Shabbat. You might forget to take them off. No. My tefillin is something that says, first of all, the ideal thing is that you're supposed to be meshamesh, you're supposed to touch them and always remember that you're wearing tefillin, to act accordingly when you're wearing the holy tefillin on. So therefore, you always are aware that your tefillin are on, and therefore you're for sure not going to forget. Holding tefillin in a bag, then no, you can't. That's like other items. But tefillin specifically. And it's interesting that what's just the last point is that the Gemara tells us that when a person if he has money in his pocket, he always also touches it so that it doesn't get lost, it doesn't fall out of his pocket. It's always meshamesh also. So you could say maybe that's like tefillin also. So just like the Shulchan Aruch gave a leniency that if you're wearing tefillin, because you're always supposed to remember that you have your tefillin on, you're going to take it off before Shabbat. So to maybe your money, you always know it's on you, you're always checking it, you're always putting your hand in your pocket. So maybe there also you're going to take it out of your pocket before Shabbat. But because the Shulchan Aruch says because the Shulchan Aruch does not say it only says tefillin, then that is the only heter, and therefore other regular items, even if items that you usually are always feeling, those items you got to make sure that if you live in a place without an eruv, to make sure to not walk with them close to when Shabbat comes, because you might walk into Shabbat and now be carrying, and that will be a violation. Minchat tonight at 7:05, Bezrat Hashem Zoom Shiur at 3:30, and Bezrat Hashem Haftarah Shiur tonight at 3:30. Chidush summer schedule, one on, one off, so something like that. But Bezrat Hashem tonight Haftarah Shiur at 8:30. Have a good day, everyone. Time to video.